Hello, welcome to week 6. This week we'll be covering the Byzantine Empire, which was actually just the Eastern Roman Empire. And in fact, the Byzantines, as we call them, never called themselves Byzantines. They called themselves Romans. They called themselves Romans up until 1453 when they were conquered by the Ottoman Turks. We're also going to in this chapter cover a little bit about the beginning of the Islamic world, the Muslim world, and then we're going to be talking about how after the fall of the western half of the Roman Empire, the Pope and the Catholic Church took over, filling in the void of authority and security and unity that was lacking after the fall of the Western Roman Empire and the development of the Frankish kingdom. The Frankish kingdom that followed, and beginning with Charlemagne. Now, also I want to talk to you about, you finished your first topical essay, and that's good, and I'll be reading it and grading it this week, letting you know how you do. And also, so now the next major thing that we're going to be dealing with is in week 9, you'll have the midterm exam. And it covers chapters 1 through 8. And it will cover things that I didn't specifically assign questions to in the writing questions that you do, the short responses that you do each week. But it is important that you go back and look at some of the key terms if you haven't been doing that in some of the sections. You should read the whole chapter, at least read it through once, even though you don't have to answer specific questions on it. Because on the midterm, there are a multiple choice section, about 35-40 questions. And at the end of each section in your chapter, like for example coming up, chapter 6.1, at the end of that section, there will be a short 5 questions, review questions. I would recommend that you do that. And at the end of the chapter, there's like 29 questions or so of the key terms and things like that. So go back through the chapters beginning now, reviewing and taking notes. This is real important. It is an open note test, but because of the way since it's on the computer and your text is on the computer, unless you have 2 devices, you can't go out of the test and look under your devices and then come back. So you need to have the notes organized and have your plan for taking the exam. And the exam is made up of 2 parts. The first part is the multiple choice, 35 to 40 questions. They're your standard, 4 choices out of 5, or 4 choices for each question. Shouldn't be hard, but you do need to prepare for it just in case you haven't been looking at the key things. And also, then there's one essay, and it's a timed essay in the sense that the whole exam is 2 hours. So you have 2 hours to deal with everything. And I basically designed it so that you could do it in 30 to 45 minutes. And that gives you 45 minutes to do the multiple choice section, but it shouldn't take you that long. That's 1 full minute for each question. Now, what I'd recommend you do with the multiple choice is have a pencil and paper handy and make note of which questions you don't really know or you're not sure of. Make a note, say it's question 1, and then move on to question 2 and answer all the questions that you know the answers to. And then go back and look in your notes for the ones that you're wanting to check or double check, and you've got them jotted down. Otherwise, you will run out of time. And so you want to do that first, and then you'll have a full 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour. We're talking about 2 hours of time. You have plenty of time to write the exam, write the essay. Now, I will, in week 9, at the very beginning of week 9, I will give you this, not the specific question, but the specific topic that the question will be based on. Enough information so that you can prepare and know what to write. But I don't want to give you the exact question because I don't want you to be able to write it in advance and then just type it in. So it's going to be basically one of those timed essays, so you need to take a little time and prepare. So for the next few weeks, up through chapter 8, be reviewing the information in your textbook on the key terms. Look at those review sections at the end where they have the little quizzes for you. It's not a graded assignment. It'll just be something that It's a teaching tool. It's an assistance for you. Okay? So I'm just giving you a heads up on that. And then after the midterm exam in week 9, then in week 10 through week 13 is the second topical essay. And that should be plenty enough time. It's a full 4 weeks to do it. Now that you've done it once, you'll know what to do. You can look ahead just to see what the question is. You're welcome to start working on it now if you want. But I just wanted to divide it up so that you could concentrate on the first topical essay, now focus on the midterm, and then the last topical essay and the final exam at the end. The final exam, excuse me, the final exam will be the same format as the midterm. It'll just be chapters 9 through 14. So it's not a true final. It's just a second half of the test. So basically we have a midterm and a final, but they're just 2 sections. We divided the course into 2 sections, or I did. Anyway, well, I hope that's useful information for you and that you'll take advantage of my suggestions to prepare yourself. And welcome to week 6, and I look forward to working with you as I have been. Okay, bye.